The Galaxy S20 is the smallest phone of the S20 series, released almost 4 years ago, and, in my opinion, it is still an amazing smartphone even today. I had this device for almost 4 years, and in this video, I am going to tell you if it is still worth buying and using it in the upcoming year. This is the Samsung Galaxy S20 in 2024. The Galaxy S20 has a premium build quality made of glass and aluminum. The glass is slightly curved on both sides on the front and back, and even though I don't really like edged screens, I am okay with the curves here since they aren't as noticeable and they look elegant. This device still looks and feels amazing in the hand since the back is made of glass and the frame is a glossy aluminum. Phones released in these last years are heavy and thick, so when I use the S20 it feels totally different, and sometimes I miss the times when phones were thinner and lighter. This cloud blue is one of my favorites, and honestly every time I pick this phone, I love it more. I especially love watching movies on it since it is a very light phone. The S20 is also IP68 water and dust resistant. The Samsung Galaxy S20 has a 6.2-inch display with a QHD resolution and a 120 Hz refresh rate. The display of the S20 is still incredible even 4 years later. It is sharp, has a high refresh rate, and combined with small bezels all around it is just a joy doing stuff in this phone. The colors are also fantastic since it has OLED technology. When using the 120 Hz refresh rate it lowers the resolution at full HD, but even then, it is still very detailed. Inside and outside, when the weather isn't that good, it is still perfectly usable, but in direct sunlight it is a bit harder to see the content. Although the green line that is happening in many units is an issue, my device is still fine, and I only speak from my experience. The S20 runs Android 13 perfectly. The UI is very fluid and I never experience any sort of lag. This is however its last major update, so Android 14 won't be available. I have the Exynos 990 model and surprisingly it is holding just fine. It still opens apps and games fast, and in day-to-day I never had any troubles. If you have a more powerful device for comparison, then you will see it is slower, but this processor has been criticized a lot and most were undeserved. The LTE model I have here has 8 GB of RAM and it always felt enough for me. In my speed test comparisons, it doesn't keep that many apps opened in the background, but in everyday life it is just fine. The base storage of this phone is 128 GB, and on top of that it does also have a microSD card slot. In 2024 the cameras found on the S20 are still alright. It has a 12-megapixel main camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera and a 64-megapixel telephoto camera with a 3x hybrid zoom. Pictures taken with the main camera are just what you'd expect from Samsung, sharp with vibrant colors. The ultra-wide camera on the other hand is a little bit more muted, but I like it a lot and it has proven itself very reliable to me. The 3x zoom camera isn't as good as the others since it has only a 1.1x optical zoom magnification and the rest is hybrid. You can also use the 64-megapixel mode to take incredibly detailed pictures, but the dynamic range is slightly weaker. All of its rear cameras support night mode and the results are acceptable even in low light. The main camera is very optimized, but the others aren't as good as newer phones. On the front it has a 10-megapixel camera, and even though it is good it isn't top tier. It can take decent pictures, but many other Samsung phones can take better selfies. The S20 can shoot videos up to 8K, but for the best results you have to stick at 4K. This device never had the issues of the S20 Ultra, so you can rely on it even for video recording. Videos taken at 4K are very sharp with great stabilization and dynamic range. The Samsung Galaxy S20 has stereo speakers tuned by AKG. The speakers on this device are amazing. They can get very loud and clear, but not as loud as the ones found on the Plus model. The Samsung Galaxy S20 has a 4000 mAh battery capacity, and in 2024 the battery life is good but not great. I have been using it a lot and naturally the battery has degraded, but I would say it is still acceptable. If you are a light or a medium user, then this phone maybe can get you through a day with a single charge. Heavy users however will have to charge it more than once in a day. Like I said earlier, it has a 120 Hz refresh rate, but it isn't LTPO, so it drains the battery a bit faster. It does support 25 watts of charging, which for me isn't as quick in 2024, but keep in mind that this device was released in 2020. It does also support wireless charging and wireless power share. The main feature for security on the S20 is the ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner. During my usage, this scanner has always been very reliable to me. It does also have a 2D face scanner, which is just as quick, and personally I always use it despite the fact that it might not be as secure as a 3D face scanner. So, is the Galaxy S20 still worth it in 2024? Well, I think it all depends on what you are looking at on a phone. This device had a launch price of $1,000 and it was very hard to recommend. Now, however, you can find it around $180 to $250, and for these prices I think it is an amazing value for money. For $250 you get a device with premium build quality, amazing display, and reliable cameras. If you want a phone that can zoom in further or that lasts more than a day with a single charge, then this device isn't for you. Users of the S20, I would like to hear your thoughts in the comments section below. If you did enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching.